Joining me now is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Senator, always good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
For being here. It's a big night, obviously. We're waiting for the State of the Union address, and I want to ask your thoughts on that as well. But first of all, your reaction to your colleague's decision today.
Well, Susan is a powerful, amazing woman who is very thoughtful and very thorough in her investigations herself, and she came to the right conclusion. This was a flawed, failed, fictional attempt by Adam Schiff to bring down the president, but not only for 2016, but he wanted to remove him from the ballot in 2020. There was simply nothing impeachable on that phone call. And I'm glad that she is joining us with those of us who are voting for acquittal.
So you say there's nothing impeachable on that phone call, and there are some Republican senators. Some say, you know, they think that the call was perfect, as the president said. Others say that they think it was inappropriate, including Senator Lamar Alexander.
Yes.
But he also made a very forceful defense of the president in terms of the impeachability of that phone call. Which camp are you in?
I'm one of in the camp that says it was nearly perfect. I would say that it's hard to call it perfect. But it's even harder to call it impeachable. I've said the president is innocent of an impeachable offense. When you listen when you read the transcript, it's undeniable that he did nothing impeachable on the transcript.
You know, I mean, it feels like the country is so divided on this, and tomorrow this process will likely end in acquittal. That's what's expected. Do you think that any Democrats will vote to acquit the president?
I think there are 3 or 4 that may. I think there's a lot of you heard Joe Manchin talking about censuring the president. I think he talks about censuring the president because I think he has, my gut reaction is he wants to acquit the president as well. He wants to slap his hand somehow. I do think Doug Jones has to be thinking about it in Alabama. What his calculus is hard to understand, but Senator Sinema in Arizona, another person who should be really thinking through the pros and cons of joining us on our side. So there are 3 or 4 who are on the fence, I believe, right now.
I think it would be fascinating if that happens.
I think we get one.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I thought it was also interesting that Senator Collins said that she thought about censure as well, just as a message that she didn't feel that the phone call was perfect, as we say. But she said that she believes that the impeachment in the House served that purpose.
I certainly think that perhaps she's right. I would say that the House process was so incredibly flawed. So it had no basis in reality. If you think about the Clinton trial, 72 days, and the president had an opportunity day one to participate in that process. He could cross-examine witnesses. President Trump was not allowed to do so. He could present evidence. President Trump was not allowed to do so. He could have an opportunity to, frankly, bring his own witnesses. President Trump was not allowed to do that. The same with President Nixon. And I know you have John Ratcliffe on later on, who's an expert in the House on this entire process. I will tell you that when you look at that case that they sent over to us, it would be hard for anyone in good conscience to say, let's convict the president based on that case.
So tomorrow the president is going to speak after that. And he's also, of course, going to speak tonight about the state of our union. How do you think, you know, what are you looking for in that speech tonight? What do you think, given this moment in history, is the message that needs to be heard?
I think you'll hear a very confident president, and one who's looking forward to that final moment coming out. I think, Excel, what I think you'll see with the president tonight is a lot of positivity. If you think about where we are economically, the numbers have just never been this good in my lifetime. Not only the unemployment numbers, but the bottom 20%, they're getting higher raises than the top 20%. Think about from a foreign policy, Soleimani. We're talking about someone who's producing amazing results from a domestic perspective and doing the exact thing from a foreign policy perspective. So he is actually in the middle of one of the best runs a president has had in my lifetime.
Do you think the president can increase the percentage of black vote that he got the last time around, which I believe was around 8%?
8%, yeah. So I think the magic are African-American men. My understanding is the latest polls I've seen 4 polls that suggest his numbers are over 30% approval. Cut those in half to see where you can be from an actual getting votes. So he could be between 14 and 16% in 2020. That would be pretty phenomenal. Game over if we get 14.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday to your mom.
Thank you very much.
Senator Scott tweeted a beautiful message to his mother, and this is a lesson for everybody at home listening. And took your mom out for lunch. Went home to South Carolina. Just tell me in a couple sentences why she was so influential in your life.
Well, as a kid who was flunking out of high school as a freshman, she never gave up on me. As a guy who was starting a business in my mid-30s, she was my biggest supporter. As a guy who was running for office and winning a lot, she always grounded me. She was my harshest critic and my biggest fan. And thank God for someone who will tell you the truth when almost no one else will.
Well, I'm thinking that you probably picked up a lot of those same qualities because you have that grounding quality as well. So, Senator, it's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Enjoy the speech tonight. Everybody will be watching, and you have a special guest there from the Opportunity Zone as well. So we'll be watching part of that story. Thank you, sir. Senator, good to see you.